Deception, one of the key proponents of war and its games. Competition thrives off masking key strategies and attacking an indecisive opponent, from the rope-a-dope to the pump fake to a Mango Genesis rest. Deception, downloading your opponent and disrupting their focus, is essential to competitive strategy. Hey all, this is Bam from Smash University, and today we're going to go over part 2 on how you deal with bad players, aka why you lose the bad players. Now in part 1, you remember we learned how to identify certain players who may not be the strongest at, for say, neutral. However, they may have gimmicks and they know how to mitigate the amount of times they have to deal with neutral interactions. Today, we're going to talk about building a strong game plan that's going to allow you to deal with opponents not only at the lower level, but stand the test of time against stronger opponents. Today's topic is the 3 Ds: deception, downloading, and disruption, which in this case is talking about disrupting focus. Now, the first topic is deception, and that was your first lesson in deception. When you are approaching a match, you must always look to mask key strategies versus your opponent's character. Holding on to key information on habits and using the information to create a priority chart can help guide your game plan. Let's take a look at this example. In Game 2 versus MKLeo, Spargo was continually looking for whiff punishes on the short hop fair and bear coming out of MKLeo. These are key tools in many matchups for Byleth to consistently keep opponents at bay and get them off stage at relatively early percents. Spargo, recognizing Leo's habits of rising fair or bear fast fall to dash back, roll, or another aerial, sat at mid-range and consistently whiff punished Leo. While his tool of choice was Mithra's insane dash attack, other punishes were used, such as dash grab, which began the ending sequence for Game 1 in Grand Finals. However, being aware that this is what Spargo was focused on, MKLeo kept this in his back pocket during the course of the tournament. When it mattered most, MKLeo stepped slightly out of the range that Spargo usually would see him in, and at the same time recognizing that Spargo was already moving while looking for this whiff punish. This step back from Spargo allowed it enough time for MKLeo to actually swing his fair, and also potentially cover a dash in coming in from Spargo early. However, it was positioned in a way that as soon as he would land, if Spargo was looking for the whiff punish opportunity, he could be punished. Of course, Spargo sees the opportunity, thinks once again this is a key point where he can take damage and get a kill, but MKLeo is able to shield in time and immediately goes for up smash out of shield. Easy punish based on the information that he had downloaded before. These situations are key because even though you may go ahead and download information, you still need to find a way to mask it. By getting your opponent to believe that you are looking for an advancing opportunity rather than actually trying to go for a retreat and bait out their whiff punish, you allow a greater chance of your opponent to swing. And if they swing and you're ready, that could be the meaning of doing 20-30% or doing it at the right time and cashing out appropriately and earning yourself a game victory. Depending on the level of the opponent, the battle is won here. If they are truly bad, it is as simple as playing safe, identifying what is unsafe, identifying what you are personally able to punish, and then simply punish your way to victory. However, a lot of players will recognize that you have solid reactions, and you are very aware of this go-to burst option. This isn't always a good thing. This can trigger a shift in a playstyle from your opponent. And while this is inevitable against a decent opponent, as a competitor, you want to make the most out of your punishes when possible. In Smash, the more kill options appear as your opponent rises in percent and or changes position, allowing an opponent to feel comfortable in the early and mid game can push you and your opponent to continue their autopilot habits. As a player, you always want to find options that are somewhat punishable and make them as inviting as possible. In fact, the better you understand how to use tools such as parries, standard out of shield options, option selects, and footstools out of shield, the better positions you are in, because moves that may naturally be inviting for opponents to use are much harder for them to remove from their overall game plan. This increases the chances of seeing this option in the future where we are in a better position via percentage or spatial positioning to get a heavy punish. This is what we call cashing out on our information. We trade knowledge for damage. This is where, as a player, you must identify what information is worth holding on to versus punishing immediately. As we play higher level opponents, the less opportunities we have to hold on to certain habits, because they will consistently be assessing their own mistakes and tightening up their gameplay. You must take the time given to you and get the damage you can. But always know that many variables are in Smash, and because of this, there's always some habit or interaction that you can take on and potentially change depending on the percentage into an actual kill. Now, decent competitors in a match will constantly be shifting their focus between your actions and their own. If your opponent doesn't seem to be watching, use this as your advantage. For all intensive purposes, your intentions are invisible. If you're playing a decent player, however, they will be watching you just as you watch them. However, this is where the beauty of fighting games emerge and the mental battle begins. Subtle shifts in spacing become less random movement and represent potential actions. This can be used to pull their focus to certain ranges or aspects of the game so we can test our opponent. Now, let's go through a large example, going with some of the top tier gameplay coming out from main stage, Spargo versus MKLeo. In our final example, we will go over the faded air dodge. Now, at the end of this game set series, we saw MKLeo get a hard punish on a double jump air dodge. Now, this was huge. This was the turning point of the game, and this is what really allowed MKLeo to advance forward and steal this main stage grand finals from Spargo. Or so it may seem. If you go earlier on and watch some of the earlier games in the set, you will recognize that Spargo had a habit of continually going for air dodge recovery. Sometimes he would tend to go for a neutral air dodge drift, or sometimes a directional air dodge, knowing that at certain heights, he'll be in a position where his landing will be relatively low cooldown, and you'll still be able to move, potentially shield, and not deal with taking too much damage. Now, only a few instances during the course of their sets did we see MKLeo go for a decent punish. Oftentimes it was a nair, maybe it's a fair, a couple jabs, but nothing heavy. And this was big because at the last game, MKLeo swings for hard punishes. He does a dash off dare, and although it misses, it also lets Spargo know that he is looking for heavy hits. If he's looking for heavy hits, Spargo is going to look to himself and be like, I need to avoid the heavy hits here. I will go for options that will keep me as safe as possible. This is what happens when MKLeo gets him off stage on the left side. Spargo looks for his tried and true, something that's been working for him the entire course of the set. The double jump, react, air dodge. MKLeo pressures him right as he double jumps, forcing him to air dodge a bit earlier than he probably wanted. However, Spargo at the time believing that he's going to be okay regardless and will not receive a heavy punish. But because he was triggered to air dodge a little bit early, MKLeo gets a hard punish and gets him back off stage with no double jump. An easy dub there from MKLeo. These are the situations as to why it's important to know when to hold on to information, how to deceive your opponent to make them think that either A, you do not know how to punish something, and or make them believe that you will only give a light punish. And third but not least, disrupting them as they are juggling their focus. When you're able to suggest that you're going for a separate option beforehand against the opponent, That subtle suggestion may make them go ahead and punish things that simply aren't there, and thus easy bait and allows you to get some more damage. But most importantly, you should be utilizing these situations to close out stocks and to close out sets. This is Bam here from Smash University. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like the content you're seeing, please go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, comment down below to let us know how much more content you guys want to see, what particular things that you're looking forward from this channel, and we will do our best to service you guys as best as possible. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Class dismissed.